Hey everyone! Today we're diving into an inspiring story that has touched millions of lives, the story of Buddha. If you're wondering who he is and why his teachings matter so much, stick around. We'll explore his journey from a prince to the enlightened one and what that means for us today. To really get into Buddha's story, let's set the stage a bit. He was born in Lumbini, Nepal, around the 5th century BCE, during a time when India was buzzing with spiritual quests and philosophical debates. People were grappling with tough questions about life, death, and suffering. They lived under a caste system that defined their roles and opportunities. Siddhartha Gautama, the future Buddha, found himself in a world where many were seeking answers to life's biggest questions, and this context shaped his path drastically. Siddhartha Gautama was born into royalty, which meant he had it pretty good. His father, King Suddhodana, wanted him to be a great ruler, so he shielded him from anything grim or sad. Siddhartha lived a life of luxury, complete with a beautiful wife, Yasodhara, and a baby boy named Rahula. But even with all this privilege, there was a restlessness inside him, a sense that something was missing. He was destined for greater things that he just hadn't discovered yet. Everything changed one day when Siddhartha decided to venture outside his palace walls. He saw 4 sights that would completely shift his perspective. First, he encountered an old man, something he had never seen before. Then he came across a sick person, which shocked him as he realized illness was part of life. Next, he witnessed a funeral procession, facing the reality of death. And finally, he stumbled upon a serene monk who radiated peace despite the hardships of life. These sights opened Siddhartha's eyes to the suffering that everyone faces. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to life than pleasure. This moment was the spark that ignited his quest for meaning, a quest to understand how to overcome suffering. Determined to find answers, Siddhartha made a bold decision. He left his royal life, saying goodbye to Yasodhara and little Rahula. He became an ascetic, living a life of extreme self-discipline, meditation, and fasting. Going to the other extreme, he thought that if he pushed himself to the limit, he'd find enlightenment. But after several years, he realized this approach wasn't working at all. He was hanging on to the idea of denial, which only left him more confused and exhausted. This was his aha moment, where he discovered the middle way, a balance between indulgence and extreme asceticism. It was then that he decided to focus on moderation and mindfulness, which became central to his teachings. After this realization, Siddhartha sat under the famous Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India, and vowed not to move until he had found the truth. And wouldn't you know it? After days of deep meditation, he achieved enlightenment. In that moment, he understood the 4 noble truths. Life is suffering, suffering is caused by desire. There is a way out of this suffering, and that path is the Eightfold Path. It was a massive breakthrough. Siddhartha became the Buddha, which means the enlightened one. His heart filled with compassion, and he felt a deep connection to all beings, realizing that everyone was capable of overcoming suffering. Buddha didn't just keep his enlightenment to himself. He wanted to share his insights with the world. His first sermon took place at Sarnath, where he shared his 4 noble truths and introduced the Eightfold Path. This path outlined practical steps for living in harmony and understanding oneself. He also formed the Sangha, a community of monks who helped spread his teachings far and wide. Buddha's words resonated with many, as they provided a pathway to inner peace and deeper understanding of life's complexities. Fast forward to today, and Buddha's teachings continue to impact millions, shaping various traditions in Buddhism. His ideas about mindfulness, compassion, and balance are more relevant than ever, inspiring people worldwide to lead more meaningful lives. It's amazing how his message resonates across cultures and generations. So there you have it, the incredible journey of Buddha from prince to enlightened teacher. Hopefully, this gives you a better understanding of his life and teachings. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and reflect on your own journey.